Welcome to Timebomb. My name is Alan Lynch. This is the Kylie album showdown. You're very welcome. This is episode 2. Thank you very much for the great response to episode 1. I don't know how many streams we've had, but we're really happy that people are enjoying it. So thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to show you over now to my co-host, Gary.
Hello. Welcome back. Nice to see you both.
And we have Elliot here, who is our referee. Hi, Elliot.
Yes, I'm back again, back into to mediate another Kylie discussion.
I'm glad we didn't scare you off after the first one. Thank you for returning.
Of course.
I'm back again, Elliot, to agree with me. Obviously, as we've agreed, I am the outright winner all the way through this series. Alan is pants, and there we go.
Now, well, we'll see who's laughing at the end of this, okay? I'm going to just, hold my tongue for now. But that wasn't kind of really unfair fight on the first one, right? Can we just have a quick look back? It was kind of unfair. I mean, I was up against it, you have to admit.
You were, however, in homage to episode 1, if you're watching this, I've worn a disco t-shirt tonight because I still can't believe we got rid of disco. Like, it's still so wrong. And although I do believe I should have won, I am going to say I did a little mini test post the last recording, and I went and I listened to both. And I thought, which will I listen to more over the next couple of weeks while we're waiting in between episodes? And I would 100% listen to disco more. So I know Fever won, but bloody hell, it's a great album, disco.
It's sad to see it go, yeah, but that's the nature of the beast.
It's in the bin. It's in the Timebomb bin.
Yeah. So what are you? Okay, let me ask you a question, Gary. We haven't spun the wheel yet, but if just in Dreamland, what album would you like to get tonight if you could?
Oh, I think because it's getting near tour time, I'm living both tensions right now on the reg. So I'd happily have Attention 1 or Attention 2 tonight.
And listen, before we go on, we mustn't not talk about the fact that like less than a week, I think, right, till she lands in Glasgow. Am I right?
Yeah, she's hitting the
Glasgow.
UK.
So what nights are you going to?
So I live in Spain, actually. So I'm going to Birmingham, and then I'm going to Lyon in France, and then I'm going to Seville in Spain. So I'm doing a bit of a Kylie turn.
So international.
Freaking excited.
I know.
Yeah.
But they're not actual Tension nights, though, are they? She's part of festivals, right, on those nights?
Birmingham and Lyon are Tension nights, and Seville is like a festival. So it's an outdoor show. So we obviously don't get the full arena. However, that's what I'm kind of liking about it. I'm going to see.
I bet that'll be amazing, actually, with the weather and everything.
It's July in Seville. It's going to be absolutely sweating. I'll have my tits out. It'll be great. Yay, tour time. Are you going? Elliot, are you going?
No, I'm not. No, not right now. I'm not. No. I know I'm a bad gay right now.
Sad.
To be fair, I have seen her a handful of times now, and I don't know if I'd be that upset about missing this because if I'm honest, I have like overdosed on clips online.
You really have to like kind of either go out of your way to mute stuff to try and not
possible
see
though,
stuff.
right?
I've kind of managed to do that a little bit with Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour. I've only seen a couple bits and pieces.
Honestly, I've seen every minute of both shows. Yeah.
But you do this all the time. You always say, "Oh, I'm not going." Like, do you remember when it was the the album showcase tour in Manchester?
Yeah.
At Gorilla.
Oh, we got tickets last minute though. I think also when you've seen Kylie in that kind of space, and that was amazing, right? Wasn't it? It was amazing. Although you were. You were 3 sheets in the wind, let's be honest. But it was just wonderful to be really close to her. I hadn't been that close to Kylie Minogue ever. And I'm not the biggest fan of Golden, but that was such a great night. So I don't know if anything will top that, to be fair.
But you just turned up out of nowhere. You didn't tell me you had tickets.
And I saw Kiss Me once. I saw Let's Get To It. And then we saw her also on the summer tour, didn't we? In Castle. Did you come to that, Elliot? I'm sure you did.
You did.
In the bowl.
The ones that I've been to was I got to see the Golden tour when it was at the Manchester Arena, and then it was the Castlefield Bowl when she was doing this. It's the same years that she was doing Glastonbury, wasn't it? It was the same stage.
And also, do you remember last week you were saying that you never got to go to Fever?
Yes.
Would you like a wine-stained DVD of it?
I have it. I love it. Oh, Alan.
I spilled a glass of wine on it, not Kylie wine, but it doesn't really open. I think it's quite sticky inside. But there's a great documentary. There's a great documentary on this.
Yeah.
So
Listen,
I'll send that to you, Gary. That's yours. No.
I love that we get gifts now as part of this. Elliot, what are you going to do?
Maybe I tell you what. From now on, as a thing, from now on, next week you've got to produce some naff Kylie paraphernalia.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm on it. Yeah.
See if we can rise to the challenge. All right.
Right, well, we're already minutes in and we've not even asked Elliot what the rules are. Elliot, do you want to remind everyone what the rules are of Timebomb?
Okay, so the rules we have established. We are going to randomly assign each one of you one album each. One album for Gary, one album for Alan. And you will both will have your own time to defend that album, to praise that album, go through the good points of it, sell it to me, and by the end of the discussion, one of them will be ditched into the Kylie Timebomb bin, and the other one will progress further until we finally found the best Kylie album.
One thing that I've heard a lot of feedback from the first episode was people really enjoyed Alan flipping the coin. So we really hope that's back for this week to decide who's going to go first on the Timebomb wheel. Alan, have you got a coin?
Well, I think because I'm kind of, it's a great idea, but I couldn't even really do it because I almost dropped it. I've handed it over to Elliot, who's going to take
I have the coin.
Of coins.
Prepared. I am prepared. Yeah. Okay.
Heads. I want heads.
Okay. You want heads? Okay. It's tails, babe. It's tails.
Wow.
Okay, let's do this. This is my favorite bit of it, This is the bit. I'm quite tense.
Wheel.
Okay. Get
the
wheel up.
Are we ready?
Go.
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Okay.
We're spinning.
Who added the sound effect? Was that there last week?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no.
He just went, oh no. Alan, you got golden. Oh, sorry. I just forgot for a second there we were on a podcast and no one else could actually see what we just seen. Alan just got given golden, everyone. Hurrah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, just give me a second to absorb it. That's all.
He's absorbing, he's processing, he's building.
Elliot, should we spin for me?
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, let's spin for you, Gary, now.
Imagine I got let's get to it.
Oh.
It's Aphrodite! This game is so random. It's so good. It's the best thing ever. I absolutely love it. Alan.
I'm sorry, look, it's 2 weeks in a row. I'm not calling fix or anything, but it's 2 weeks in a row. It's 2 weeks in a row.
Alan, I mean, this is going to be the theme of every week, but
I know I said I wouldn't swear, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of swearing.
Not bad, because I swore in episode 1, and I want you to swear more this week. And Elliot, will you?
Okay, I think I probably will have to by the end of this. But
Aphrodite.
I have to pitch Golden. I was going to say Fever. I have to pitch Golden against Aphrodite.
Yeah, now
that's what's happening.
Yet again,
okay.
The theme here is I could pitch both of these and both could win in my view because, again, they're definitely both in my tops. Alan, you're taking Golden from me. You're taking Dancing. I want to sell Dancing.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking all the albums that you like, and so far you've been rating the ones that I love. Okay, all right, we'll just crack on. Right.
Be quiet.
Elliot, I'm having a word with you afterwards. Okay, it's definitely something to do with that wrist action. I mean, seriously.
Well,
right,
so we're going with Alan to start, I guess. Do you want to begin? Yes.
Okay.
I'll hand it over to you to pitch Golden.
I really thought about getting my notes. Can you edit me for a minute, Gary, and just let me find my notes?
No, I'm not editing this, Alan. I can't believe you need notes. I'll just sing Golden while you're waiting. We're golden.
Oh God, it's going to be the last one now, isn't it? Wait and see.
I love that you have notes. You actually have notes.
I know. Well, I can't remember anything. That's my problem. So I need to write stuff down here. Okay. All right, Golden. Okay. So listen, I'm going to start by saying that, oh Golden. I think the reason people really like this album, Kylie fans really like this album, is that I think she was just in a really good space at the time, and I found it a proper little curveball. I mean, I don't personally, it's not one of my favorite Kylie albums, I'll be honest. I shouldn't say that straight out the bat when I'm trying to score points from Elliot, but it isn't, I can't lie. But I think it's in her canon of albums, and it just kind of made sense in a way to me, I think. Now more so than it did at the time. I remember at the time I was in two minds, wasn't I? I was a bit like, what's going on? But now when I hear it, and I look at her, the age she was, and that's always been a big factor with her. I don't think she's ever really made music where you thought that she's making music for like a younger woman should be singing. I've never felt that about her. And I think with Golden in particular, for me, it really suited her at that time. And it was a great segue, for her. I think she probably knew she was going to come back to pop, disco, dance, whatever you want to call it. And she said that during the press around Golden. She said, I'm probably going to step back into the disco world again at some point. But
she did with
for now, I'm veering into... Yeah. And then she... and the tour was great around Golden. But I just kind of... Look, the first single, Dancing, was probably where, for me... You see, you love it. It's probably the only Kylie song that I'd skip over. I would skip over it. Yeah.
It's just been added back into the set list on the new tour. It's back as a permanent song because it's bloody brilliant.
I love Raining Glitter.
Yes.
And there's a song, I think it's Shelby 69. Another lovely record for me. A lot of people don't really like that one, I don't think. But I loved Raining Glitter. I thought she released the wrong singles on it.
I can't let you away with that. It's Shelby 68.
Is it Shelby? Oh, is it not 69?
Kylie fans literally screaming at you right now. If you say Shelby 69, it's Shelby 68.
You had notes, Alan.
I'm sorry. You can tell where my mind is going to. Shelby 68. It was, I love that record, but I thought Raining Glitter was a fantastic song. And Stop Me From Falling. When I heard the whole album, I thought to myself, I probably would never release Dancing as the first single. But as far as image goes, and I think she just looked incredible. I don't think she's ever looked better. I always claim Body Language as peak Kylie. The album cover and looking like Bridget Bardot and just incredible. But I think Golden, for an older lady, she's never looked better, I don't think. Even if she was sitting on the toilet on the album cover, we've all moved on from that now. Do you remember it became a meme where they put her on the toilet?
Elliot, I need to show you this on camera. It's not a toilet. She's on a sofa. If you can see
it is a sofa. But it could have been Steve maybe who made a meme of her sitting on a loo because he said it looks like she's taking a poo on the album cover. I remember you'd been very annoyed about it at the time. And I was like, okay, can we move on? But she looked amazing. And the campaign was pretty flawless. But you and I were really desperately disappointed, weren't we? Although she did get Dancing into number 38, right? Dancing crept into the top 40, and we were delighted, and we thought, okay, we didn't think it was going to go any higher, and it didn't. And then the next couple of singles, just kind of petered out a bit. So in terms of that for us, we didn't get that from this campaign or that album. But I think in her legacy going forward, it definitely, the Australians loved it, right? They really enjoyed Golden.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a great step from one album to another, a nice little swerve away from what had come before. But then not enough of a swerve for fans to go, what the hell? She didn't go full on country. Raining Glitter to me is a kind of classic Kylie song with a little bit of country, a little bit. But for me, I just think it's not one of my favorite Kylie albums, but I think the execution, the album cover, the artwork, and the videos, I think, and then me and you talked about Stop Me From Falling video, Yeah.
Which one?
I disagree with a lot of that. I don't think the sex stopped me from falling when she's in the restaurant and she's romancing a guy and then a lot of dancing and stuff. Yeah.
Because that was the version that they brought in South American bands. I think they're from Cuba, Gente de Zona. So they brought in them for like a remix, but there is actually another video which is just backstage.
Oh, that's right. She, I think, was again looking to the South American market, and that there's always a hint with Kylie in most of her albums where, if you talk about Body Language quickly, it's very clear it was aimed at the American market. I thought she was kind of straddling a lot of different places with Golden. And weirdly enough, the Americans weren't too keen on it, which maybe it didn't feel like to me like she even tried with that campaign with America. She was just like, we're going to focus on the UK. But it got her another number one, and
she was on Good
no,
Morning
she didn't.
America. She was in Times Square. She fucking
I could literally get on Good Morning America. Come on. I mean, a proper campaign where, I could. A proper campaign where, where it's an all-out assault. Like this time, there's no denying that with Tension and Tension 2, she was like, I'm coming for America.
Yeah.
2 nights at Madison Square Garden, come on. Doesn't get any better, really. And I think in general, for me, it was, I would call it one of those nice albums just to keep chugging along. Didn't change the dial much for me.
It was the first album when she had gone independent, but with BMG, her new record label, the deal they've got. And I think it was the start of, because it was coming off the back of, the lack of success, Kiss Me Once, Kylie Christmas, etc., etc. So I think it was the start of it. And actually, I think she wouldn't be doing what she's doing in the US now if it wasn't for the campaign that was Golden into Disco, obviously COVID Tension. It's like as if it was the stepping stone that was needed to start the US stuff happening properly. I think it was right. And if you think about it, she did really start promo in the US a lot more in this campaign, although you obviously missed it because you didn't see any of it.
No, I did see it, but it didn't feel like this time. What I mean is, you can't really compare it to Tension because she did Vegas and everything, but do you know what I mean? It just felt like another little Kylie attempt to break America where we all kind of go, okay, that didn't work. Whereas this time, I think, like, she wasn't taking any prisoners this time, was she? In the last 2 years, it was like, I am going to make America like me, and that's it. And that kind of worked.
It has worked.
It really worked. I didn't think with Golden, I wasn't that excited about it being an album that was going to bring her back to the masses in America, I don't think. I think sometimes you look at stuff with 2 very romantic eyes, Gary.
I do. And I remember being surprised that she was going down the country route, although I don't really believe it is actually a true country album. I think it's got country elements to it. I remember there was something, Biff either put it on Instagram or somewhere, but there was one of the tracks that he did, and he posted the original version and then the version that ended up on country, because actually they kind of revisited it to try and make it more country. I think it might have been Love. I can't remember. But actually for me, where it stood out the most was when she went kind of away from country. And there's a bonus track. Alan, you've got to know what this track is before I say it.
Oh, God, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I can't remember the name of it. I loved it because I remember thinking, why is this a bonus track? Remind me the name of it.
Lost Without You.
Yes, Lost Without You. But there's also another extra track on the bonus that's really brilliant too. She kind of screams. She's in it. She sings the chorus in a really high pitch. I can't remember now. It's evading me now. But that was for me. I was thinking that's Kylie for me.
Every Little Part of Me, rolling.
Yes, that's it.
Every Little Part of Me.
Every Little Part of Me. Yeah, it came out in the bonus. I think this was around the time when she realized she could get the gays to give her all their money. So she released like 25 versions of it. I don't think we'd had that with her before, Do you
remember the new kind of format that came out for Golden? And I think I might have 3 versions of it. It was on cassette. Like, I haven't owned a cassette player or a Walkman for 25 years, but yet I have 3 versions of Golden on cassette. Why?
You have to ask yourself why. Yeah, you kind of probably have to ask yourself, what am I doing? You've got too much money. But for me, look, I'll wrap it up because people can probably feel like my heart's not in it. But they probably gathered that. But I go back and I'll reiterate, the campaign itself was pretty flawless for what it was. And you'll remember how excited I was when I remember I worked at the Beeb and she came in and she was floating around in that gorgeous yellow dress. I remember it was a very exciting time to be a Kylie fan, I think. But does it have any lasting legacy? I'm not sure. But it's a really nice album, great campaign, great album cover, and just for me, it's a solid Kylie album, but not one that I go back and listen to.
I want Alan to do one last thing, and this is one thing that I got you to do last week as well. Was I want you to describe.
Can I say modern again?
Can you describe Golden to me in 3 words or phrases?
Golden.
Without
Missed
Golden.
opportunity.
Oh, Alan!
No, I'm joking. No, it's not missed opportunity. It is, you know, oh God.
Country.
It's perfectly serviceable. Is that fair? I can't really. I don't want to give it lots of plaudits and then sound fake and stuff, because I have kind of just said to people, look, yeah, that, it's not one of my favorite Kylie albums. So yeah, it's just there. It's there.
Are we going to have to apologise to all of the Golden fans after this?
I don't mean to be mean, but we've always said this, Gary. I am really objective. Like, I will sort of say, look, I don't think that's great. And I can say that about people that I love, like artists I love, like Janet Jackson, for instance, many misfires over the years, but still listen to her sort of 35 years later. And, same with Kylie. Kylie's an incredible artist with a fantastic career. She's not going to give a fuck what I say about Golden. Let's be clear on that from the off. But a wonderful career, amazing career, and a wonderful addition to a 16-album strong discography.
Right. Elliot, just let me give you some stuff to back up the lack of sell from Alan. She started the campaign with a massive performance on Anton Deck's Saturday Night Takeaway, like biggest TV show, Saturday night, millions of people. She did dancing, then she did a medley. She did, especially for you, with Anton Deck, and she sold buckets of tickets for the tour just from one performance. Like, absolute genius. She wrote most of the album. She'd had a really bad breakup the year before. If you actually listen to some of the lyrics, Alan, to the album, they're very personal.
No. Yeah.
Very great songs on there. Things like Sincerely Yours, A Lifetime to Repair, amazing songs. Kylie was writing in a way, like, you didn't even mention, Alan, what the whole narrative of this album was. She went to Nashville for 2
I know it was about her turning 50 and everything, and I think Golden is a fantastic record. It holds the title of the album. It's a great song to herald the album. And you're right, there isn't really a bad song on the record, and it's great that she wrote the songs too. She did. I mean, I remember looking through the liner notes, and yeah, she did. She had a really big hand in that. And I think maybe we were talking about how she's developed as an artist. You can see real artistry in that album, certainly.
Well, the whole thing of writing in Nashville, that was this, her really getting kind of personal with her lyrics, and you can hear it. And maybe that's lacked a little bit, potentially more attention too, where there was less writing. But actually, since then, her writing style has been completely different. And she said many times that Nashville kind of completely changed her whole approach to writing songs. Anyway, Ellen, there's just a few of myself. I could go on for another hour about Golden. Personally, dancing, I think, is absolutely genius. And I know the dance, and I will be.
Do you like dancing?
I love dancing. When I can't believe it's now been put back into the tour as a full song. It started as one of the guest fan requests, or when she was in Texas, I think, wherever she was in the US, and now it's back in the tour. I hope it stays for the UK, because I will be doing the dance.
I think, you know what, having seen her perform it live, it comes alive. It comes much more alive when it's live, when she does it with the full sort of hoopla and all that. The band, especially with the live sound, it does come alive. It's a great song for the tour, but yeah,
no backtracking now.
Single. Yeah. No. In fairness, I'll hold my hands up.
Are we ready for Aphrodite?
I think we are ready now. Thank you for that, Alan. And it's Gary's turn to sell Aphrodite.
I get all the hard jobs in this podcast. I mean, I have Fever to sell in episode 1, and I've got Aphrodite to sell in episode 2. Okay, so I remember the time. This was when she was still being played on Radio 1, and I think the premiere of All the Lovers was on Radio 1, and they released like a snippet in like 2 days before, and it was just like a repeat of a riff within All the Lovers. I remember thinking, this is going to be amazing. And then she launches song and video same time. The video's massive budget. What was his name? Who did all like the Britney videos around then? Joseph Kahn, I think was his name. Huge video. There's a white horse. There's balloons. There's thousands of people in a pyramid all touching each other. And then there's this amazing song at the back of it, All the Lovers. What a way to launch the campaign. And it goes down as a complete Kylie classic from the minute you listen to it to the day it is now. Like, it's still an absolute highlight of every tour that she does. And I think as well, it's genuinely a genius track. It's very different to kind of what other pop songs that are out there. It's very Kylie. And it was an amazing start for the album. She was doing a lot of promo and press in Ibiza at the time. The release party was on in Ibiza, all the press releases. She did like a show in, I want to say, I'm not cool enough to know where all the different clubs are in Ibiza, maybe Pasha, I don't know. One of the clubs in Ibiza did like a show. And yeah, it is a banger of an album and led to an amazing tour, which I will get to. Single 2, Elliot, I don't know if you can remember this campaign, but single 2 was Get Out of My Way. Again, another classic Kylie track. And I remember the video and realizing in the video that the visualizations were all done live. If you haven't watched it, watch all this. It looks like it's kind of screens in the back, but actually all the movement was all done live. And it was a really great song. However, it didn't perform as well as all the lovers. So Get Out of My Way was really a start for this campaign of where things had started to teeter off. But the album had been released beforehand, I think. So we were getting to the point where we were moving into the kind of download era, the streaming era. Well, downloading and then into streaming. So things were changing with the charts and with Kylie always being guaranteed. We then had the third single. It was Better Than Today, right? Is that right?
Don't get me started on Better Than Today. It was, yeah. They even made a video. Just to quickly go back, though, I don't know if you remember this quote, but I remember Kylie on some TV show, and I kind of thought, okay, she's dead right, but I kind of also felt like, oh, shit, you know, she better run to catch up now. But if you think about 2010, Gaga had broke through 2 years before. Downloading, you're right, was streaming was about to become a thing. Downloading was massive. And Kylie actually said, when Get Out of My Way was released, it was a traditional single release. At that stage, you still had a Monday release for a single, and then you had your midweek on a Wednesday, and then your chart position on the Sunday.
I know what you're going to say.
She said she was...
I remember
I can't remember where it was, but I remember being fascinated by it. And she said, I'm sitting here looking at Lady Gaga, because Gaga... she was releasing 2 or 3 videos at a time. You know, she wasn't just releasing, you know, the Fame would come and then, I can't remember the name of those songs, but the songs from the Fame just came like bullets. And Kylie was doing traditional like releases every 2-3 months or so. And she said, I've got to change how I do things because I'm looking at these artists in the top 10. And then Get Out of My Way went into number 13. And she knew she was going to have to catch up with technology and the way people were consuming music.
And it definitely was. You know, there was... And the singles were very different, I think, to the rest of the album. I'll go through some of the album tracks in a second. And I was friends with you back then. And there was this story between me and you on who wrote Better Than Today. Do you remember? It's Narina.
I am aware of who wrote that.
Yes.
I think I know who wrote that.
It is
Narina.
Yeah.
And Elliot was a massive fan, was telling me all about it. He was going to see gigs and she was talking about that. She became the first person to get Kylie to number 32 in the charts, whatever it was, Better Than Today. However, fun fact for you, I was having a midlife crisis at the time when this came out. I think I'd just come out of a dodgy relationship.
You're like 25 maybe. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And I decided to get my first
You're having a 25-year-old breakdown.
But I decided to get my first tattoo, and there's a lyric in Better Than Today that really, really stuck with me, and still sticks today. Do I love the track? It's an okay track. It's not the best track in the world from Kylie, but it was a good track. What's the point in living if you don't take a chance? And I have it on my arm. It's there. It was part of my first tattoo, and it's a line that sticks with me. Yeah. So Better Than Today, although it's not my favorite single by any means, it has a very, very special place in my
heart. But if you look at the rest of the album, like, what the hell? Like Aphrodite itself, the song. Genius. Like, why wasn't that the single number 3? And even the one written with the guy from Keane, I've forgotten the name of it. It's got a lot of piano in it. I think it's the 5th song. It's like it slows the album down a bit before it gets going again.
Everything is
written
beautiful
by one of the guys who was in Keane. Everything is beautiful. Yeah, sorry, my memory failing me again. Great songs, and there could have been 3, I think, or possibly 4 of those songs that could have been a single rather than Better to Say. I know you like Narina Palau, and she's a great songwriter, but I remember at the time thinking, what is this record company doing? Because it went to number 32, and don't even get me started on the video. Like, come on.
Got they redid the video for the X Factor performance, and I don't know if you remember, but there is a heart in your mouth moment on X Factor when she did this in very high heels. Danny was a judge still, and she nearly fell over during and it's one of those moments I've seen many, many times on YouTube. But I think, and Alan, this is kind of going back to your point around at the time things changing. I'm sure because it's been replayed loads of times. There was a bit at the end of the X Factor performance where Dermot said to her, like, that single's out now. And she responded with, no, it's out soon. But the album was already out. So, of course, it was out now. But it obviously had an official release date. And this is where everything was changing. Like, she didn't really know where things were going with the market.
You could go on iTunes at that point and just buy a download, buy a separate 99p track. And it just all, I think she knew that comment she made on the TV show. At least I thought, well, she's aware that she needs to not so much modernize herself as a pop star, because she's always been a great pop star, but she definitely had to do something about how they deliver the music to people and release strategies and singles. And, the way now with an album, the fans decide what the next single is. Do you know what I mean? They do. They look at the stats. The record company they're looking at the stats on Spotify. The second track is the one that's getting the most streams. That's coming out. Whereas back then, the artist was had to decide, well, maybe, hopefully she didn't decide on Better Than Today, because I want to just put that down to an intern or something, having a moment, because it was just the choice for the third single was insane.
I think there was a contract issue. I remember, I think she performed it on the US tour before this album came out or something. There was For You, that could be completely wrong. There's a Kylie fan shouting something somewhere. But my memory is telling me there was the US tour, which came before this. I think it did. And I think she performed this on it. And I don't know if I remember hearing at the time that there was some kind of contract agreement between Narina and her because didn't she write Aphrodite as well? Narina wrote Aphrodite as well. She was a co-writer. And I'm sure there was something at the time that there was some contract agreement that Better Than Today had to be a single for them to get these songs. And obviously it never should have been, but it happened. Anyway.
No.
Elliot's looking confused. Can I give you some more amazing tracks, Elliot? Because there's one on there that I think Alan will hate me for saying it's a great song. However, she did her second track with Calvin Harris. So she did a track on X, which we will get to on another episode with Calvin. And then she did a great song, which I love. Not everybody loves it. It's called Too Much. And if I remember rightly, Jake Shears was on it as well, or was he produced it with her. And she did it at the Anti Tour, which was like a B-sides tour, and it went off. It was a great track. Loved it. 80s riff, fabulous. And then the other one that is really, really, really good that I love, and it was released in Australia as a single when the tour went out there, was Put Your Hands Up If You Feel Love. Put your hands up. Why am I singing again? I can't sing. I need to not do this.
I think it was actually it was released. It was released here too, though. I think Can't Beat the Feeling is like the best album closer ever. Why wasn't that a single too? What a great record!
Yeah,
like it's a fantastic record. Can't Beat the Feeling is one of the best songs to close an album. It's just proper. It's a proper banger.
Looking for an Angel is another one that came alive on the tour. I didn't really love it at the time on the album. And then they did a whole Angel section on the tour, and that song it was stratospheric. The tour, we can't talk about Aphrodite and not talk about Aphrodite Lethally. So basically, the biggest tour that she'd ever done up to now, because I think Tension is probably going to be slightly bigger in terms of amount of dates at the end of it. However, the waterfall, the bloody flying horses. She was flying on an angel across the arena. I saw it in Cardiff once. I saw it 4 nights in a row in Manchester. It was wow. I just kept going. I just couldn't stop going.
I'm sorry, hang on. Hold on. Just rewind a second. 4 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Question for you, Gary. Did you buy these tickets all at once, or did you just keep buying the tickets? Like, how did you plan this? Did you just?
So, at the time, at the company I worked for, I got freebies for Cardiff. I bought 2 nights at Manchester, and then I went to them and she did another 2 nights. I think like the Monday and Tuesday were rollover nights. I
forget that you worked there. Yeah.
But I bought the Manchester ones, and then I bought another 2 Manchester ones. And then I also got freebies for London. I went to see it in the O2 as well. On the
In fairness,
last
though, this was when concert tickets were still reasonable. I mean, can you remember how much you paid? They were fairly reasonable then.
at the time with Aphrodite, she had the splash zone, which was the bit at the front. You know, the VIP bit at the front, where you were guaranteed to basically get splashed.
Super gay bit, yeah.
Super gay bit. You're going to get wet. They gave you a
The spins for the gays, just here in the front.
But tickets for that were like 120 quid. And I remember I didn't buy them because I was like, that's too expensive. Like, now, if I could get a good ticket, I've paid 200 to be 5 rows in the front in Birmingham, and not in a splash zone or anything like that. So, like, it just shows how much concerts have gone. But the tour was incredible. There was the moment for me is when it's right at the end of the tour, end of the show. She finishes all the lovers. She's been up on the what you call like a tea cake thing. There's been fecking water everywhere. We've all been getting. I was in the front row many times. Splash, 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 splash. Lights go down. It's all gone. She's at the front. The dancers go off the stage. She talks, and I think if you watch the DVD, she kind of like says, and "I've loved every minute of every one of you. Thank you. Good night." And the lights go back up, and the water just goes everywhere, and it is just. That's the epitome of this campaign. The end of all the lovers, the water going everywhere, and her just on this massive stage, bigger than she'd ever been on, walking back down. And Elliot, I'm going to leave it there as my sale because that's, to me, my moment. That's it. That is it. That is all that
I don't know if Kylie remembers it as romantically as Gary, because I do remember her talking a couple of years after and saying that was the most fucking expensive thing she'd ever done, and that kind of forced the tour to almost not make any money because it was just, I mean, can you imagine how expensive it must have been to take that much water and all the mechanics it involves? And I think she's never had as many people on stage. A lot of theatrics, very Pink, very Katy Perry, and all. She was doing it before a lot of them, to be fair. And I do remember her saying, yeah, she loved it, but it was super expensive. And as a result, the tour, one of the least profitable tours she's ever had.
Gaga tweeted afterwards that she'd had to go and spend more money on the next tour. I can't remember what tour it was. Maybe it was the Born This Way ball because of Kylie's stage.
It would have been,
tweeting saying, Kylie, what have you done?
Did she say that?
Yeah. And then Kylie retweeted it.
I wondered if they'd ever met. They've never been photographed together, have they?
Yeah. So Gaga had to pick it up because of Kylie. Yeah. I remember the water didn't go to the States, but yeah, she still wore the end outfit, which was like the swimming costume, which made no sense. Like it made sense when there was water. And one of my friends went to see her one night in one of the German cities. I can't remember what it was. And for whatever reason, the water had malfunctioned. Before the show started, they tweeted to say it wasn't happening. There was no water for the show, which I can only imagine would have been a real disappointment of that show. Although the water wasn't actually the best part.
But I think everybody saw a shift there, didn't they? It was like, okay, she's not taking any prisoners with this tour. So from a touring point of view, I think really that was when she stepped into gear. Like she always delivers live. I think she does. But with that, it was on another level. Well, I still can't believe that Gaga comment because I often wondered whether their paths had crossed.
There you go. There's my useless information for you for today, Alan. There's my useless information.
And
well, thank you very much. Yeah, we like the stats.
Elliot, do you want my 3 words?
Gary, to round off, give me your 3 words or phrases to summarize Aphrodite.
Joy. And I haven't planned these, by the way. I know I've had more time, but I still haven't actually been clever enough to plan this. Joy. Angels, because there's the whole angel section of the tour, and they were looking for an angel, and there's a few different angel references in there. And water.
Wet.
This album makes me.
Well, you know.
That's it, Alan. This album makes me
Water better than wet. Yeah.
This album makes me wet.
Elliot, well, look, and first, before you give over your result, Elliot, I would just like to say that
you're shit.
I am. I would like to apologise to Golden fans because I know that. I'm really grateful people are tuning in. I hope you enjoy it. But I have, in my defence, been stuck with a couple of. I've had a couple of hammy goes around here. I'm hoping that by the third episode, I can chomp my teeth into something.
Elliot, give me a result. Where could we go?
Well, I feel like this has been.
I'm just getting the Golden fans ready for disappointment. That's all.
So it's been very, very hard. You've both put up incredible arguments.
Yeah.
But yes,
I agree.
I think it has to go to Aphrodite. I think that
What?
I think to just. So I'm so
what?
sorry, Alan.
I cannot believe that.
I think side by side, I think album wise, it feels Aphrodite just sounds better. It seems to be a bit more of a particular tempo in her career. I feel like
I like
what
that,
it sounds like
that
staging and
analogy,
touring wise.
Elliot. I like that.
Yeah, but
tempo in your career.
I feel like, yeah. But,
yeah, I would say that too. Actually, yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, I can see
again
the effort that's in it,
and I think also the album, like with all the lovers, is very hard because it's such a great Kylie anthem.
I can't discredit. I won't discredit Golden because it's
either will I.
A fun album. I feel like it has.
You know,
its
I think the
moments,
podcast should be going forward is just Gary doing a version where he talks about one album, and then you just do another one, and then it's just Elliot with two Garys fighting against each other over two albums. Because it would be so fun to see, because he'd be arguing with himself going, no, it's brilliant. And it's really brilliant. It would just be this argument. So maybe I need to step aside, as things improve on the next one.
You're part of the crew.
Congratulations again, Gary. That's 2-0. How am I going to catch up?
I don't know.
But no, seriously, congratulations. You did, you actually sold it to me. I was thinking, yeah, I want to listen to Aphrodite again.
Well, go listen to it. Get those streams back up, Alan.
And apologies again to all the Golden fans. Please don't hate me.
In the bin is Disco and
Golden.
I would say it's fair tonight. I felt really bereft of the last one because I was like, wow, we just put Disco in the bin. But I'm okay about Golden losing its place in the coming up in the because it was never going to win, was it?
Well, I'm not going to sleep tonight, Alan, but don't mind me. It's fine.
No, seriously, I do apologise to Golden's fans, and I apologise to you too, Gary.
I will leave you on a song that I encourage you all to listen to from Golden, not actually from Aphrodite, and it was Kylie's love letter to her fans, which, oh my God, I've just forgotten the name of it. Isn't it Sincerely Yours?
I love it so much, but I can't remember the name of it.
Shut up, Alan. Hang on. I'm just
trying
looking
his
up
best.
now. Sincerely Yours. It's like a love letter to the fans.
Yeah, it's a nice record.
Listen to that. And Lost Without You, obviously, because it's bloody genius. Oh my God, stop selling Golden. It didn't win. It's in the bin. Are we all coming back for episode 3?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really hoping that I get something I can get my teeth into next time.
We'll see everyone in episode 3.
We shall.
See everyone. Bye.